Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisamthompson.com, and I have a question for you. Have you ever read Brendon Burchard's Life's Golden Ticket? If you haven't read this book, I highly suggest that you go and you pick up a copy, and here is why. What I love about this book is that unlike other self-development books where they talk about, you go in and you're trying to uncover limiting beliefs about yourself, learning how to set goals, how to create a vision for your life, they go through and they'll give you like practical advice. They'll give you the rationale for doing it, and then they're going to give you some exercises. And that's what you see in most typical books. But what's unique about Life's Golden Ticket, this is done in a story format. And it's about a man, and his fiancée went missing for about 40 days, and all of a sudden she's found. She's in the hospital, was struck by a car, appears like she's dying. And she gives him an envelope and says, you need to go to this place. And what the place is an old abandoned carnival. And the journey begins. And so when I first read this, I'm going, this is like a novel. And once you start reading it, you can't put it down. And so this journey is of this man where he gets into this carnival, this old abandoned carnival, and the magic starts to happen. And he goes and he has these different experiences, meeting these different carnival folk, different rides, and it teaches him something about himself, and about his relationships, and about his goals in his life. And it's so eye-opening. And what's really wonderful is when they use those metaphors, and when it's told in story format, you tend to remember it and you tend to apply it. And I'm going to give you just a brief excerpt from one of the chapters here. And it was from the loop-de-loop ride, when you have one of those big rides where it kind of spins in a circle. And in there, this is what they describe for the, when they talk about with the ride, is they talk about with this ride, sometimes we can get into these negative cycles. And so they talked about with this loop-de-loop ride, and this is what the operator says, the ride operator. He says, the loop-de-loop is all about momentum. A jolt of energy gets the cart moving. And the buzzing you hear, that's the buzzing you hear. So you get that jolt, and then the ride starts to move. And then the momentum takes it from there. The carts go around the track because of bursts of energy, momentum, and the path of least resistance. You get something moving on the path of least resistance, and it goes on forever. And in life, the path of least resistance is always silence. If you don't express your feelings and thoughts to others, you don't have to deal with their reactions to it. You don't have to feel vulnerable. You don't risk rejection. But the path of least resistance leads exactly to where the ride leads to, which is nowhere, because on that loop-to-loop, it's always in this endless circle. Now, you can't keep, and it goes on, and it says, you can't keep giving this behavior energy. You've got to refuse the path of least resistance. You've got to put the brakes on this behavior, or your same story of suffering will just keep looping over and over. It's time to start expressing how you feel and how you want. That will start the news cycle for you. So think about that. A lot of times when you think about stinking thinking, you hear other things about that, but when you hear it in a story form like that, in the metaphor of the loop-de-loop, it really makes sense. And each time this gentleman goes through, in each ride he goes through, it's like a specific progression through the book where he goes through this tour of going through this abandoned amusement park, and he learns something. And that is something that, for me, as I'm going through and reading this, I'm learning this all about myself. And what's really kind of cool is Brendon has in the back here, I'm not at the end of the book, but he says there's a little envelope in the back. And he says, warning, opening this envelope before you read the entire book diminishes the magic of what's inside. Read the book first, trust me. Okay? So I'm waiting to finish the end of the book, and then I'm going to open up that envelope. So if you haven't picked up and read a copy of this book, go pick up a copy. Pick up a physical copy of this book, and you can get it. It's available on Amazon. I have it in the link to Amazon in the description of this video. So you really want to go and check it out, because sometimes if you're really struggling with mindset, sometimes you have to hear it and read it in a different way. And with this book in a story format, it is amazing. That's why the Chicken Soup for the Soul series have been so popular, is because it's all done in different types of short story formats, because short stories are where the greatest lessons are learned. Remember Aesop's fables, remember parables from the Bible. When they're done in simple ways, people tend to grasp the message. So take a read, you're going to enjoy it, and it's really going to change your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.